Real estate agents, do you face challenges with what sellers are currently expecting in the market versus what they are getting? If so, be sure to watch this video. All right, so in the first quarter, beginning of second quarter of 2022, we started to see an impact on the real estate market because of rising interest rates. What has that impact been so far? Well, in a lot of places, transaction volume has slowed down, while at the same time still maintaining a smaller, but albeit gain in prices. So we have this dynamic going on right now where, buyers have higher interest rates on their mortgages, so less purchasing power. So many of them are pausing, putting their searches on hold, taking longer to make a decision. And so we're not seeing those double-digit gains in home prices anymore. We're not seeing, 10 offers on a house like a lot of people were seeing in 2020, 2021. So the market has cooled off. We still, so far at least, have seen increases, albeit smaller, in the prices of homes, but less transactions. So many sellers were expecting multiple offers, 5, 10%, whatever it is, bidding wars above asking price, and they are not getting that. So what do you do as a real estate agent? Well, I think a lot of it depends on the expectations you set up front in your initial meeting. You've got to do two things in that meeting before you kind of get into the nitty gritty of the market and what you will do. All right. The first thing is you need to educate them on the two different types of cycles in the market. All right. Typically there are annual cycles. It's different in every market, depending on geography, climate, all sorts of stuff. But typically in a lot of markets, at least, you see prices kind of cooling off in the winter, right? And then building up in the spring, and then more transactions, higher prices. And then sometime in the middle of the summer, it usually kind of comes back down a little. And then, as people are getting those vacations in, getting back to school, and then in the fall, it'll pick up again and then kind of taper off around the holidays, right? And this annual cycle happens in a lot of markets, and you can actually see prices going up and down in that annual cycle. Now you also have bigger cycles, right? What I would call non-annual, non-seasonal type of cycles. And that's what we're potentially starting to see with this rise in interest rates, right? We've seen interest rates go from 3 to 4 to 5 to even 6%, and that's making an impact. So we're not in that post-COVID shutdown, lockdown, rally, no supply, 10, offer type bidding wars. We're not seeing that anymore. I'm not saying that a crash is coming. And I personally don't expect a crash or anything like we had in 2007, 8, 9. I know a lot of people, though, that's on the back of their mind. So there's nerves, especially on the buy side about that. But we are in, a different shift, maybe getting back to a more normal market where homes are going to be on, the market for more than a couple days or more than a week. So sellers need to understand those two different cycles. The third thing you need to do is set proper expectations up front. How do you do this? Well, you educate them on what the market is doing right now, not what it was doing, a year ago, 3 months ago. You gotta show them examples of homes like theirs and what they are doing right now in the market. I would venture to say that in many markets, if the home is priced right, it's still probably moving. If you're a little high, probably not moving, right? So you need to show them what's sold, what's been withdrawn, and what is sitting. All right. And you got to set a realistic price up front. Now, If you do that, you're setting yourself up for success. The fourth thing you need to do after you get that listing, you need to have consistent communication. All right. You need to educate them on how many showings they're getting, how many views they're getting, what are you doing to market their house? You know, are you putting it on social media, email blasts, all of that they need to know. They need to know the feedback from showings, right? The more of that type of communication you give them, the better the relationship will be for two reasons. One, that constant feedback to them will help them get their expectations closer to where reality is. And number two, that communication will show them what you are doing to sell their home, because you can do a lot of great stuff to market and promote their home. But if they don't know you're doing that, if they don't see it or hear it because you told them about it, they're going to think you're doing nothing. All right. So if you take those steps, do those things up front, you will have a much better chance of setting the proper expectations with your sellers and getting through this shift in the market. For more videos like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button, leave me some comments and feedback and things that you want me to cover in the next video, and I'll see you next time.